right. All right, guys. Let's talk about success. Success with women, okay? So, let's talk about how success with women in the very, very beginning, it starts before you meet her. Can you believe that? It starts before you meet her. And women already know within the first few seconds of meeting you, before you even open your mouth, she knows whether or not you're a potential suitor or not. And it's not because of how you look or how tall you are or, how much money you have or whatever. But it's basically because of the life you built before she arrived. And all this is conveyed through how you act and how you talk. Now, in today's live video, I'm going to show you why successful women starts before you actually even meet her and why most men fail and it's already too late by the time she meets her. Now, if you're new here, my name is Mitchell. I'm a relationship coach, and let's get started. So the first point that I want to talk about is most men start at the wrong point, okay? Most men start at this idea of successful. They think that success with women starts with, when I talk to her or when I get a match with her or finally get a chance to impress this girl. And by the time you meet her, like I said, it's already kind of too late to fix whatever you have been trying to fix. Your foundation, if you will. Now, the reason why most men fail is because they try to perform this type of confidence that they really don't have, instead of embodying this type of confidence that they should be working towards. And also they put her on a pedestal. Now, also, they try to put on this validation. Like, they try to get this validation from her instead of having standards and a direction for himself. That is what true masculine energy is. Having a sense of direction and knowing what you want and going for what you want. Now, when you walk in with confidence, without arrogance, it shows that you are a grounded person. You're a grounded man. You're a grounded masculine man. And the difference between confidence and arrogance is that confidence is believing in yourself when nobody else will, and in your own abilities, and you're just grounded in your own self-worth. Now, arrogance, on the other hand, arrogance is thinking that you're better than other people, and is usually driven by insecurities and a need for external validation. What's up, Will? How's it going? Now, what other guys make the mistake of is they go into this date. They go into this date thinking that it's a job interview, like thinking about, what are the right things to say to her to impress her, instead of being the right person, whether or not you are right for each other. That's why it's a date. You're testing it out. You're testing the water, right? So the main question you want to ask is, like, does she have similar goals? Does she have similar values? And your whole goal in that date is to hang out and have fun. And then if everything's right, y'all get to hook up. Now, most guys fail when they hope that there is a certain type of connection, that this type of connection will fill in whatever they're missing in their life, like filling in a void. And women, they can sense that right away. She isn't there to save you, guys. Like, no one is there to save you. You just got to remember that. No one's there to save you. And she should be there. If you're a guy and you're watching this, you're a man, you're watching this, she should be there to join you, whatever you have to offer. So what do you have to offer? Have you built the life and lifestyle that you want to have the right person come in to support what you have already built? No woman wants to be your mommy or your therapist or to take care of you. Nobody wants to do that. And guys, like I said, women don't reject you because of your looks and your height. They reject you because of your insecurities, your lack of direction, and your purpose in life. Do you have a purpose in life? Are you lacking direction? So a lot of these things, it kind of bleeds out to how you convey yourself or how you present yourself to be when you are first talking to her. So, like I said, success starts way before the interaction. Now, these are certain practical things that you could do as a guy that will help elevate your success. Now, when I tell people like, hey, you know, like go to the gym, take care of yourself, improve your looks a little bit, take action, move towards those directions. Like it's cliche for a reason, but all those things still work at a very surface level. So it might create enough attraction for them to say, who is this guy? Why would I want to meet him? So you're opening that door for them to say yes. But in order for them to stay, you have to possess something different. What do you need to build? What do you need to have? And so that is building. Now these are practical tips, okay? Build a life of rhythm instead of focusing on random type of motivations that you have. Women feel the biggest difference when a man knows what he wants, he goes after what he wants, he's structured with what he's going for, versus a man that kind of just wakes up every morning and be like, it's that kind of day again. It is what it is. Let's just do whatever it is and don't have a focus in life. Because if you're a leader, you will guide them towards a certain direction. You have a vision for yourself and they want to be a part of that vision. But if you lack direction, you go in circles and eventually she's going to realize that this guy's full of shit or you're full of shit. So you have to have something that you're going for and something that you're passionate about, not something that everyone is doing that you think is cool, unless you're really passionate about it, right? That's what I'm saying. Like you have to have this emotionally compelling reason as to why you want to continue doing the things that you want to do. Now, you have to have discipline. You're grounded, you're calm. What's going on? You have to have daily disciplines, okay? You're not going to want to do a lot of things that you wake up and you plan to do every single day. Say, for example, like I said, going to a gym, taking care of your body, making sure your health is a priority. And then you focus on every other aspect of your life. Just doing those things continuously every single day. Whether you want to do it or not, you still do it. That's the daily disciplines that it's not that they are looking for, but it will increase your chances. Now, you have to have, like I said, emotionally compelling reason why you want to do the things that you do. Otherwise, it's not going to last very long. You're not going to stick with it and it's going to fade over time. So it's, here's a prime example. New Year's resolutions. Every single year within the first few weeks, most people fall out. They don't continue with that. They don't stick to the plan that they plan on sticking. They don't continue. And so what ends up happening is you just going around in circles again. And it's not a healthy circle, at least not for yourself. Now, after you build a life of rhythm and not focusing on that motivation, second thing you want to do is you want to strengthen your masculine decision making. What does that mean? You have to practice small decision making quickly. So you have to make decisions, whether it's for yourself or for her. So what you want to eat, what time you're going to sleep, what are the tasks that you have planned out for today, and are you going to stick with that? Like those are important. Being decisive, okay? And you have to remember that decisiveness is a muscle. And women, they could sense that instantly. So what I'm suggesting to you guys is that you want to create a ritual in your life that focuses on becoming better, not just focusing on just consuming, if you know what I mean. Because a lot of people after work, they just want to come back home and lounge. And they don't really do anything and move towards anything for themselves, whether it's physically or mentally or spiritually. They just kind of lack that area of their life. All right. And lastly, and this isn't like not in any particular order or anything. It's just certain things that you should already have. I would say these are the fundamentals of being just successful. And if you just have these three things, your success with women will increase dramatically. Now, last one that I have over here for you guys is learn emotional regulation. Before you meet her, you must be a man who can stay centered when, say for example, someone annoys you. She might annoy you. Plans don't go the way you plan it to be. So plans changing. When life throws stressors at you, like things like that. You have to remain calm. grounded and unbothered. Those are things that you could learn, and it's emotional regulation. And the reason why most women, they're repulsed by the idea of a man acting kind of erratic is because when a man acts erratic, or kind of like a jack in a box, right? He's emotionally erratic. She doesn't feel safe around him. She doesn't feel safe and comfortable to open up, because in essence, you're acting more like the woman in that relationship. And so what do you have to do? You have to build a social and a mission for yourself to create this type of identity for yourself. A guy that has good male friends, a clear direction. Like, these are things that make a lot of women say that, like, wow, this guy, he's different. There's something about this guy. I don't know what it is, but it's different. It's not like the rest of the other guys that I've been with. Now, moving forward is the number one most attractive thing. What's wrong? What's wrong? It's just long. I need to do something with it. What's up, Bree? All right, so the number one most attractive thing to a woman is confidence. And most men, they think that confidence is a state of like, oh, let me just hype myself up and let me just act bold and, you know, fake it till you make it. All those things, don't get me wrong. While it's better than doing nothing, like at least you're taking action at the very least. These are things like tips, and learning these little nugget of tips, but not fully understanding the core principles, it will only get you so far. So, you know, I get guys that come to me, and, you know, don't get me wrong, I make my mistakes myself, but I get guys that comes to me afterwards and be like, well, I got this girl, but, you know, I was like, I'm just gonna make a prediction. This guy is not very focused. He doesn't try to understand women. He doesn't do anything to move forward with himself. It's not gonna last very long. And even if she is in that relationship, she's not gonna really, she's either settling or not exactly very happy to be in that relationship. Like, if she had a better option, she'd probably choose him. Now, eventually, it all collapses for a guy like that, right? Real confidence is not something you just kind of turn on. It's something that you no longer really need to turn on. It's just something that you have, okay? But, like I said, we're human, and we're not going to act super confident every single day, okay? There are days where we're feeling great, and there are days where we're not feeling as great. But that's okay. You're human. And so, what does a confident man do, right? A confident man, he keeps his own promises. He says what he means what he says, whether it's to himself or other people. Your word is your bond. And he knows what he is capable of. He isn't controlled by the outcome of things, because let me tell you guys something. I used to be pissed off when things don't go my way, or I feel like this urge, like FOMO, for example, like when all my friends will be going out and I'm like, damn, I'm stuck at home, and I gotta do something, or I wish I don't have FOMO. Okay, I'm like, well, if it's not meant to be for me right now, it's not meant to be, but it doesn't mean I'm just gonna sit around and not do anything about it. All right, so there's that. Now, this guy with confidence, he has options, he has direction, and he has purpose. Now, but in order to feel confident about yourself, you have to put in the work, you have to put in the action, and then you'll be competent. Then confidence and competence will become this healthy, positive feedback loop that goes around and around and around. At least for you, assuming that you don't stop. Now, a woman feels the difference between a man who knows himself and someone who's just trying to appear confidence, because, you know, after a while, all that thing, it just fades away, and she can see right through you, right? So, lastly, women choose men who are already in motion. What does that mean? What do you mean by motion? All right. Women are attracted to men who are already building something for himself, who's moving or he's becoming. When a man is in motion, His life is already, he has a sense of direction. He already know where he wants to go. He doesn't have to negotiate his values and what he's worth. He doesn't need validation. And he's also more selective with people getting in his circle or being in his circle. He's more selective and he's not desperate. He invites her into his life instead of asking her to be in her life. You get what I'm saying? That's what a leader would do. And so a woman can feel when she's joining a man's story versus being asked if he could be in her story. There's a big difference. One's being a leader, the other is not. So in other words, she knows she knows whether if he is in her world or if she is part of his world. You want to convey that message to her that, hey, you know what? I do have, you're not just trying to convey it, you have to show it too. So a lot of people say a lot of things, but you can always judge based off what they do. Bottom line, their actions. Okay. And so you have to remember, guys, it's like, this isn't a overnight thing. It's going to take a lot of time. And how I see it is that time will pass regardless. Time will pass regardless. It's not going to stop for anybody. And you have a choice. You have a choice to live an extraordinary life, or you have a choice to live a life of mediocrity. It's your choice. Now, whether you want to choose or not, though, it's still a choice. And if you don't choose anything, we already know what your life is going to be like. Either mediocre or worse than that. And so most people, they tend to major in minor things anyways. Like everybody online, they're always trying to find this quick fix with all these glorified results. But like things like that, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to have great days and all the time, and you're not going to have shitty days all the time. But you could at least work towards much more better days than shitty days. And all good things takes time, you know, and start working on it slowly. This is a much shorter live than I have usually, but Bree, if you're still here, what's up? Here's let me summarize everything. All right. So at the end of the day, guys, success with women, it doesn't begin when you approach her. It begins the moment you start making decisions when no one's watching. That's what it really is. It's like, put in those good habits. Start working on those things. It's in your habits. It's in your discipline. It's the life you're building long before she even came into this. You still here? Nice. How you been though, Bree? What's been going on? It's a life and lifestyle that you built for yourself in order to share each other's completeness. You want to share what you have to offer, and she wants to share what she has to offer. And a relationship, you're there to give. Love is allowing. So it's like once you start to understand this, it no longer becomes about pressure. It's more about, well, is this person willing to do certain things? Is this the right person for me? Is this person, or does this person match what I am going for in life? Or is this person going to cause me more friction moving forward? And if they are, benefit of the doubt, are they willing to correct that? And if not, no pressure. By all means, you do what you got to do. I'm just going to step away and find somebody else. But I hope you the best. That's basically what it is. You don't have to. There's no hard feelings. There's no pettiness. And I can see that. I can see a lot of guys that get too caught up in their emotions when things don't go their way, or, you know, when a woman doesn't treat them the right way. It's like, well, there's some lack of emotional regulation right there, right? So, anyways, guys, like I said, it's a pretty short live, and if you guys did find this video content of value, hit the like button if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't, and share this with somebody, you know, to a guy that needs to hear something like this. I'll be back next week, hopefully. We'll see. because it is a holiday, so I might take a little break. I don't know. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next live. Saturdays, 12 p.m. Pacific time. Peace.